Okay, page 73. This is not the Nahu topic. This is the Sarf topic. This is Sarf. Sarf again, as what we have explained earlier in the beginning of the semester. Sarf is related to the word itself, not in the sentence. Nahu, we are concerned with the sentence, but Sarf, it is only how do you read the word, how to form a word. So that is for Nahu. So in this lesson, it is only about word, not about sentences. But it is related to another topic, another Nahu topic that we will see later, inshallah. So today we look at this. Sorry, al-fi'lu al-madi al-mabni lil-majhul. Ad-darsu tasi'a ashara, lesson 19, al-fi'lu al-madi al-mabniyu lil-majhul. Al-fi'lu al-madi, of course, everybody knows al-fi'lu al-madi. Okay, we have covered this. Okay, as you can see in example number 1, number 2, these are all fi'l madi. Shariba, akhaza, sa'ala, ba'a, tasallama, ista'mala. These are all fi'l madi. Okay, now we want to learn something new. Okay, the topic is called fi'lul madi mabni lil majhul. Mabni literally it means which is built for. Majhul means unknown, which is built for unknown. So what does it mean? Okay, before we can explain this, which is built for unknown, let us look at the jumla al-amsila. Jumla fi majmu'ah alif, and then we compare with jumla fi majmu'ah ba. Okay, we look at jumla al-ula. Al-jumla al-ula, shariba al-waladu al-ma. So the walad drank water. Yes, al-walad drank water. The boy drank water. So you look at the fi'l shariba. Look at fi'l shariba. Do you know who drank the water? Is the word mentioned? Is the person who drank the water is mentioned? Is the person who drank the water is known? Known, is it known or unknown?
Known.
Known. So here, the fa'il, so okay, please take note of this. The fa'il is known. The fa'il is known, or we say the fa'il is ma'lum. So take this word. The fa'il is ma'lum. The fa'il is known. Known here means that the fa'il is mentioned. So, al-jumla al-ula, shariba, this is the fi'il, this is the fa'il. So, when the fa'il is known, the fa'il is mentioned. So, this fi'il is called, okay, so take this word. This fi'il is called fi'lun mabniyun, the fi'il which is built li al-ma'lum. The fi'il which is built for the known. Known here means the person, the fa'il is known. This is what it means. And all the fi'il that we have learned so far, they are all fi'lun mabni lil ma'lum. All the fi'il in the dictionary is fi'lun mabni li al ma'lum. So therefore, you won't see these two words used, because all the fi'il, they are always in this form, mabni lil ma'lum. That is why every fi'il we need to have the fa'il. Alright, so this is referring to the normal fi'il. So you can have fi'il madi mabni lil ma'lum, you can have fi'il mudari mabni li al ma'lum. Okay, how do you read the fi'il? Okay, this is what we have covered in the wazan earlier. We have said that if it is 3-letter fi'il, you need to refer to the dictionary. So this is is it shariba, is it sharaba, is it sharuba? We don't know. Check in the dictionary, then you'll see they say shariba. Okay, so this is what we mean by fi'il mabni lil ma'lum, the fi'il which is built for known fa'il. Fa'il must be known. Fa'il must be mentioned. Okay, that is the fi'il mabni lil ma'lum. Shariba al-waladu al-ma. But if you look at ba, you look at the fi'il. The fi'il is still the same fi'il from the fi'il shariba, but how do they read the fi'il now? They say shuriba. Okay, it is not shariba anymore. They say shuriba. So when the harakat is changed from shariba to shuriba, the meaning will be changed slightly. So this is fi'il that is built for known. The person, the fa'il is known, but here the fi'l is built for unknown. Means the fa'il is unknown. You don't know. They did not want to mention who the fa'il is. Okay? Or sometimes they do not know who is the fa'il. That is why they change from shariba to shuriba. So this is now called the fi'il mabni that is built li unknown. What is the word unknown just now? Known is ma'lum. Unknown is
Majhul.
majhul. So this is what it means. What they mean by fi'lun mabniyun lil majhul. The fi'l that is built for unknown. So what is unknown here? Unknown here is referring to the fa'il. So the fa'il is unknown. So this is what they mean by fi'lun mabni lil majhul. The fa'il is unknown. So if you want to change a fi'il from mabni lil ma'lum to mabni lil majhul, of course the meaning will change. So so this is what? To drink. This is apa ni diminum? Drunk. Drunk apa?
Drank.
Drank, sorry. So the water
Was drank.
was drank. You see the difference? So this is now the passive voice. This is the active voice. So this is the passive voice. So to make a passive voice in Lugha Arabiya, you need to change the pattern. You need to change the pattern, the wazan. So we go back to the topic of wazan. So wazan is change. You need to use the wazan of fi'il mabni lil majhul. Okay, so from shariba to shuriba. So we will look at how do you change it later. So as for now, we just look at the meanings first. Okay, and then for you to be familiar with all this mabni lil majhul. Mabni lil ma'lum is easy. It's the normal fi'il. Mabni lil ma'lum. Okay. We go to al-jumlatu thaniya. Akhadha al-ibnu al-kitab. Akhadha al-ibnu al-kitab. The boy took the kitab. Akhadha, to take. So the boy took the kitab. Mabni lil ma'lum or majhul? Do you know who take?
Yes.
Al-ibnu.
Okay, yes, so this is mabni lil ma'lum.
Al-ibnu.
Okay, so akhadha al-kitab. So now you want to say the book was taken. You do not want to mention who is the fa'il, or you do not know who is the fa'il. So we change to passive voice. So when you want to change to passive voice, you cannot say akhadha anymore. You change the harakat. So from akhadha it becomes ukhiza. Do you notice this? Ukhiza similar to shuriba. Okay, so we change to ukhiza. So now ukhiza, this is again a fi'il madi, but this is mabni lil majhul, and the meaning is changed. Was taken. So the book was taken. Okay, so this is the mabni lil majhul from the fi'il akhaza. And as I mentioned just now, this mabni lil ma'lum, they are available in dictionary, but mabni lil majhul, you will never find it in the dictionary. The dictionary will not bother with listing of this mabni lil majhul because they assume that you will learn all this grammar topic. So mabni lil majhul. Shuriba, ukhiza. Okay. Now we look at number 3. Sa'ala al-ustazul talib. The ustaz asked the student. Mabni lil ma'lum, because you know who asked in the active voice. Now you want to say was asked. The student was asked. By whom? We don't know. We don't know who asked the talib. So you change from sa'ala, you change to su'ila. Su'ila. So again, here you have su, u, and then followed by kasrah and fathah. Su'ila. Su'ila talib. So the student was asked. Okay, su'ila at-talib. This is also mabni li al-majhul. Okay, sa'ala, su'ila, akhaza, ukhiza. You can also memorize it, even though there is a qaida, but you can just memorize. Shariba becomes shuriba. Akhaza, ukhiza. Sa'ala, su'ila. So later on, once you are familiar with this, you will know, you will understand the meaning immediately. Number 4. باع التاجر البضاعة. باع التاجر البضاعة. باع to sell. So the merchant, tajir, he sold the, what is bida'a? The goods, the items. The item or the goods. So he sold the good. Ba'a tajiru al bida'a. He sold the good. Now, so now you want to change from sell to sold. Was sold. So how do you say? So that item was sold. So this is how you change the fi'il. So from the fi'il ba'a, it becomes bi'a. Ba'a, ba'a, sell, to sell. Bi'a was sold. Bi'a. So in this jumlah, you have this ta because why? Because the next word is a mu'annas word. So now this is similar to any other mabni lil ma'lum where you can change this later to muzakkar, to mu'annas, okay, attach it to ta and other domir. Okay, so bi'at al bida'a, the good was sold. This is also mabni lil majhul. Okay, you can just memorize it. Ba'a bi'a. Ba'a bi'a. Rakam khamsa. Okay, now we look at the fi'il with more than 3 letters, the 4, the 5, and the 6 letter fi'il. So it doesn't matter whether it is 3 letter fi'il or 4 letter, 5 letter, 6 letter, you still have these two versions. For example, number 5, tasallama aliyun, tasallama akhi al-hadiyah. Tasallama bermakna receive. Receive. So Ali received the gift, al-hadiyah. Ali received the present. Ali received the present. Tasallama. So now this is fi'il madhi. Okay, this, do not confuse this ta with fi'il mudari, because if you look at the wazan, can you find what is the wazan for this word? Tasallama.
Tafa'ala.
Tafa'ala, yes. So is tafa'ala a fi'il madhi or fi'il mudari from the wazan that we have learned? Anyone? Can you remember? Do you remember this? Tafa'ala. This is the wazan for fi'il madhi. Therefore, the word tasallama is fi'il madhi. Okay, so that is one benefit of knowing the wazan. Tafa'ala, tasallama, confirm this is fi'il madhi, because tafa'ala is the wazan for fi'il madhi. Receive, akhi received the present. Now you want to say was received. The present was received. You don't want to mention akhi anymore. So now the fi'il is changed from tasallama to sullima, up to this part, up to the mim, to sullima. To sullima. So this ta is additional ta because the next word is a mu'annas word. That is why you have this ta. Okay, so the word is to sullima. So again, look at the words again. Tasallama. Now it becomes to sullima. So there is a qaida. How do you change from tasallama to sullima? We will see that inshallah. Okay, to sullima was received. The hadiyah, the gift was received. Now, and al-jumlatul akhira ista'mala tullabul hasuba. Ista'mala means use. Ista'mala tullab al-hasub. So the students use computer. Computer is hasub. So the students use computers. Now we want to say the computer was used. We remove the word tulab. We use the passive voice. The computer was used. So what happens to the fi'il ista'mala? You look at the word, it becomes ustu'mila. Ista'mala, ustu'mila. You don't change anything. The fi'il remains the same. You only change the harakat, the vowel points. You only change this, whether a or e or u. So now it becomes ustu'mila, and the meaning is was used. The hasub, the computer, was used. Okay, so these are some examples of fi'il madhi mabni lil ma'lum and fi'il madhi mabni li al majhul. Okay, so far, any question? So now you know the meaning of mabni lil majhul and you know the meaning of mabni li al-ma'lum. Okay, any question so far? Ada. Okay. Baik. If there is no question, okay, now we look at the qaida. Okay, we look at the qaida. The qaida says, number one, al-fi'lul mabni lil ma'lum. So this is the term mabni lil ma'lum, the one that I have explained just now. Mabni lil ma'lum. Okay, but mabni lil ma'lum. So this is used for both fi'l madhi and also fi'l mudari. So in our today's lesson is only about madhi. In the next lesson we will see fi'l mudari. So mabni lil ma'lum is huwa. So this is just a definition of what mabni lil ma'lum is. So similar to what I have explained just now. Huwa ma yuzkaru ma'ahu fa'iluhu, is what is mentioned with it, together with it, its fa'il. Ma here is referring, what here is referring to al-fi'l or fi'lun. You can replace the word ma here with the word fi'lun. Huwa al-fi'lu allazi yuzkaru ma'ahu fa'iluhu, is the fi'l where the fa'il is mentioned. Okay, as in majmu'ah alif, kama fi majmu'ah alif. So as in majmu'ah alif, all the fa'il is mentioned. Not necessarily the fa'il is mentioned, is written. No, not necessarily. For example, you can have a sentence like shariba Muhammad, shariba al-ma. Is there any fa'il? When we say
No.
shariba al-ma,
Fa'il.
where is the fa'il? Or is there any fa'il?
Huwa.
Ada.
Tak ada. Here we don't say tak ada. There is a fa'il. Somebody
Huwa.
mentioned just now.
Huwa.
Huwa, good. Huwa, good. Why? Because this fi'il is built for mabni lil ma'lum. Is built for mabni lil ma'lum. Shariba. This is the normal fi'il. So it must be built for mabni lil ma'lum. Means that this is to drink. And when you say to drink or drank, you must know who the fa'il is. Even though the fa'il is not mentioned, you should know who the fa'il is. Who is the fa'il? This is for huwa. So when you say huwa, shariba, sorry, even though they did not mention the fa'il, the word, the fa'il is there, which is huwa. So huwa sharibal ma. Then the translation must be he drank the water, not the water was drank. Okay, so this is what they mean by mabni lil majhul. Even though in the definition here is they mention yuzkaru ma'ahu fa'iluhu, the fa'il is mentioned. Mentioned here, not necessarily the word is mentioned. Sometimes the word can be hidden, as what you have learned in the previous level, the types of fa'il. So there are several types of fa'il, the hidden fa'il as well. So here the fa'il exists, but it is not mentioned. So the word is still mabni li al-ma'lum, even though you don't see any fa'il. But when it is changed to this pattern, shuriba, then it becomes the mabni lil majhul, where you cannot mention any fa'il at all, because the fa'il is mabni lil majhul. If you want to mention the fa'il, you have to use the normal fa'il again. This is the definition of mabni lil ma'lum. And the opposite of mabni lil ma'lum is al-fi'lul mabniyu lil majhul. Majhul, the fa'il. So what is majhul here? What is unknown? The fa'il. Huwa ma huzifa fa'iluhu. What is whose apa ni? Huwa ma huzifa fa'iluhu, where the fi'il whose fa'il is removed. Huzifa means remove. Remove here means you do not want to mention at all. Maybe because you do not know, maybe because you are afraid of him. So there are many reasons why you don't want to mention the fa'il. Huwa ma huzifa fa'iluhu. But as we have mentioned just now, mabni lil majhul is the passive voice. So you just say this is active voice, this is passive voice. Wa halal maf'ulu bih makanahu. This is we will see this in another topic. Halal maf'ulu bih makanahu, where the maf'ul bih will take its place. Halla means to take a place, to take its place. It will take its place. So here it means that the fa'il is removed. You don't mention the fa'il. Instead, you just mention the maf'ul bih. So if you look at all the sentences again, Sharibal waladul ma, you have fi'il, fa'il, maf'ul bih. But here you only have fi'il and no fa'il, unknown. And you have this word, which is al-ma. Al-ma in the original sentence is a maf'ul bih. In this sentence, this is not maf'ul bih anymore. This will change to what we will learn later. This will change to naib al-fa'il. So this will be another grammar topic. Naib al-fa'il. Naib al-fa'il means what is naib? Naib is the deputy, like we say naib president, yeah? The deputy president. The deputy of the fa'il means the one that replaced the fa'il. So naib is the replacement of the fa'il. Since you don't have any fa'il, you need to have a word to replace it. So in this case, the maf'ulun bih becomes the replacement for fa'il. So you mention the word ma, and since this is the replacement of fa'il, fa'il is marfu, so the replacement of fa'il, na'ibul fa'il, is also marfu. That is why, as you can see here, the word ma, this is in the original sentence, this is maf'ulun bih, mansub, but now it has changed to marfu. Okay, so we will talk about this inshallah in another lesson. But as for now, we just focus on what is mabni lil ma'lum and what is mabni li al majhul. Okay, so you can just ignore this part. Okay, we take up to this. Kama fil majmu'ati ba, as in majmu'ah ba. So these are all mabni lil majhul. Fi'lun mabni, madi. And okay, now this is how we change from mabni lil ma'lum and mabni lil majhul. Okay, so this is what this is important. Here it says tataghayyaru suratul fi'li al-madi inda bina'ihi lil majhul. Tataghayyar mean change. The surah, this is not picture. Of course, surah it means picture, but here it means the pattern. Surah here means is referring to the pattern. The pattern of fi'il madi, the way how you read the fi'il madi will change. Tataghayyar, it will change. Inda bina'ihi, when you form it, bina is similar to the word mabni just now. When you form it for unknown, which means when you change it to mabni lil majhul, definitely you will have to change the fi'il. You see, sa'ala, you will have to change to su'ila. Akhaza, you will have to change to ukhiza. Okay, so you have to change. So what are the rules? How do you change it? So this is important. How do you change the fi'il from fi'il madi, the normal fi'il madi, to mabni lil majhul? Okay, the rule is not difficult. It is very easy, but sometimes especially when you have fi'il mu'tal, the one with alif waw ya, harful illa, then you will have some troubles. But for ordinary fi'il, it is very simple. So let us look at this. Yubna al-fi'lul mabni lil majhul. This fi'il mabni lil majhul is built. Yubna here is similar to the word mabni just now. So it is built. How do you form it? It is formed. So you can underline this, or you can highlight this. This is the important rule. Bi dhammi awwalihi wa kasri ma qabla akhirihi. What does it mean? Bi dhammi awwalihi. Awwal here is referring to the first of it, the first letter of the fi'il. Okay, make a note. Awwal here is the first letter of a note. So for of the fi'il. For example, these are the letters of the fi'il, the fa, the ain, and the lam. So what do you do to the first letter? Dam. What is dam? Dhamma?
Baris depan.
Baris depan. So you put a dhamma. So this must be with a dhamma. Okay. And the second one, and the next one, they said wa kasri ma qabla akhirihi. Wa kasri. Okay, what is the haraka when we say kasri? Kasri is kasrah. Good. Kasri is you put that. Where do you put the kasrah? Ma qabla akhirihi. What before the last letter? The last letter, this is the last letter. Where is the letter before last? This one.
Ain.
The ain. Good. Yes. The ain. Good. So here you put it here. So if the fi'il is, for example, three-letter fi'il fa'ala or fa'ila or fa'ula. This is the normal fi'il, mabni lil ma'lum, fa'ila or fa'ula. For mabni lil majhul, you just change to fu.
Ila.
And of course, the last letter is always la. This is the trademark of a fi'il madi. A fi'il madi is always end with la, regardless of whether it is mabni lil ma'lum or mabni lil al majhul. So we don't change anything. The last letter. We only focus this part. So fu'ila, fu'ila, fu'ila. So this is what you have seen earlier. Okay, especially from example number 1 to example number 3. Number 1, we say shariba, shuriba, fu'ila, akhaza, ukhiza, ukhiza. Okay, very simple. Except number 3 is similar. Sa'ala, su'ila. The only difference is that the way you write the hamza. The way you write hamza is different. Because hamza, there are many ways of writing the hamza. Okay, in this case, the hamza, of course, you cannot use the hamza on the alif anymore. This is not a suitable hamza for kasrah. So the one that is suitable for kasrah is this hamza. Okay, so this is just a matter of the way of you spell the word su'ila. So su'ila. Now, okay. But number 4 is a little bit different because number 4 involve this. Remember the alif, harful illa. So when it involves harful illa, the process is actually similar, but I don't want to get too deep into this. So for harful illa, fi'il with harful illa, you just memorize ba'a, bi'a, ba'a, bi'a. We will see additional example inshallah after this. Okay, so that is how we change from fi'il ma'lum to fi'il majhul. Remember, this is for fi'il madi. Bidammi awalihi, so you can memorize this. Dammi awalihi wa kasri ma qabla akhirihi. Put a dhamma on the first letter and put a kasra, the letter before the last. So normally it is the middle letter. Okay, but of course this is the general rule. This is the general rule. But here they say ma'a mulahazati ma yali. But take note, mulahazat, take note of the following. So these are something that differences, some difference that you will see in the changes that you will see in the fi'il. So for example, number 1, إذا كان المعتل إذا كان معتل الوسط بالألف. If the fi'il is mu'tal. Mu'tal means the fi'il has alif harful illa. Mu'tal means it has harf al-illa, alif, waw, and also ya. So, and the harful illa is wasat. Wasat means the middle, is in the middle. And what is the harful illa? The harful illa is alif. For example, in our example just now, the fi'il ba'a. Okay. If you look at the fi'il ba'a, ba, alif, ain, it is a fi'il mu'tal. Mu'tal means you have harful illa. And then, where is this harful illa? In the middle, wasat. So this is in the middle. And what is the letter? The letter is the letter alif. So if you have a fi'il like ba'a, another example is, okay, can you give me other examples, fi'il similar to ba'a, where you have alif in the middle? I have to say. Say.
Qala.
Qala, good. Qala.
Da'a.
Da'a is different. Da'a is,
La.
the alif is in the end.
Okay.
Yes, we want the alif in the middle. Nama, to sleep. Tapi the word sleep is not, you cannot have passive voice. Was slept, no. Tak boleh. So you cannot have the word nama. Okay, qala, we take these two words. Qala and ba'a and qala. So what do you do? So here they said qulibat al-alifu ya'an. Quliba, you can say transform. The alif is transformed into ya. You change the alif and transform it to ya. So instead of ba'a, of course, if you follow the general rule, you will say you will write ba, alif, ain, and then you will put a dhamma, dumma awaluhu, and then qabla al-akhir, the letter before the last is with a kasra. But here you have a problem because this alif, you cannot have any sign because this is alif. How do you read this? Bu, if you say bu, ia, then it is not alif, it becomes hamza. So therefore, sorry. Okay. Therefore, they said, what do you do? Kulibal alifu ya. In order to avoid this problem, you replace this alif to ya. So you change it to ya. Now it becomes ba, ya, ain. So how do you read? Yi, okay. So this is if we were to follow the original rule, which is dhamma, and then you put up kasra. Yes, the word is buya, but of course this is very difficult to read. So the Arab, they do not like this buya. Nobody will say buya. So to make it easier to read, they change this from bu, they change to b. So now it becomes bi'a. So this is you see some changes. Okay, some changes has occurred to the fi'il, but the original rule is still applied. Buya. Okay, with some changes here. Later on, they change to bi'a. So that is why I said earlier, for words like this, you just memorize ba'a, bi'a, ba'a, bi'a. Okay. So the same words, the same rule applied for the word qala. So what do you think? What is the mabni lil majhul for qala? If you want to say it was said, qala, he said, qila was said. So you want to say it was said so and so. So what is the word?
Qila.
Yes. Or you can just compare this. Ba'a becomes bi'a, qala becomes
Qila.
qila. Good. Yes. So once you know that ba'a is bi'a, you will know that qala will become qila. It will become qila. So how do you know it is correct? So you can do all these processes. So for example, qala just now we changed to qula. So here you have this problem, the alif with the kasra. So we replace this alif to a ya. So these are all the processes. So if you do not want to know, it's up to you. You can just memorize ba'a, bi'a, qala, qila, done. No need to know all these processes. But if you're interested, then these are the processes. Then you change it to ya. Uyila. So again, uyila is difficult for them to read. Then they change this ku, they change to qi. So in the end, it becomes qila. So the details, yes, these are the details, but we are not interested in the detail. We just memorize ba'a, bi'a, done. Okay, ba'a becomes bi'a. Qala becomes qila. So these are some other examples here. They have given you some examples. Qala, qila. Say, said. Ba'a, bi'a. Sell, sold, was sold. Zada, zida. Zada, to add. To add. So zada, add. Zida was added. Zida. Zida. So it was added, you say zida. Now, okay. So these are this is for number 1 for Mu'tal. Number 2, ba. So now these are for the 3, 4, 5 letter fi'il, 6 letter fi'il. So now they said idza kana al-fi'lu, but the general rule still apply. Dhamma and then kasra. Idza kana al-fi'lu mabdu'an bi ta'in za'idatin. If the fi'il start or is started with ta, with additional ta. So you see, for example, this tasallama, tasallama, ta'allama, taqabbala, where this ta is an additional ta. Okay, tasallama. So what do you do? Dumma awaluhu, still the same rule. The first should have a dhamma. So the first should have a dhamma. Dumma awaluhu. And okay, we skip this part. Sorry, we skip this one. We look at this. Wa kusira ma qabla akhir. So we still have the same rule. Dumma awaluhu wa kusira ma qabla akhirihi. And where is the one before the last letter? this letter la. Still the same rule is applied, but now the difference is that because this is not a 3-letter fi'il, we have additional this letter. You do not know how do you read this one. Ta, you change to tu. La, you change to li. But what about the second letter? So here they just say awasanihi is also dumma. Wa, because of this wa, it is connected. So you change to a dhamma for both awal and sani. Therefore, you don't say tu salima, you change this to a dhamma as well. So now you have this tu sullima. Okay, so tasallama tu sullima. Tasallama tu sullima. So as the easiest way is just memorize. Fa'ala tu fu'ila. Tasallama tu sullima. Ta'allama tu unlima. So again, okay, you put a dhamma in the beginning and then you put a kasra before the last letter. So now the middle one, you just change to a dhamma. So it is not possible to say ta tu'allima, no. Tu'allima. Okay, tu'allima. So ta'allama, learn. Tu'allima was learn. Tasallama, receive. Tusullima was receive. Receive, to receive was receive. Ta'allama, learn, to learn. Tu'allima was learn. Was learn. And the last word is taqabbala. This is the word when we say taqabbalallahu minkum, accept. So Allah accepted your deeds. Tuqabbila was accepted. Was accepted. Okay, so this is the passive voice. So again, the rule is similar. Dhamma and kasra. In the middle, you just, the second letter, just put another dhamma. Tuqabbila. Okay, so this is another variation of the fi'il mabni lil majhul. But the original rule is still applied. Look at Jim. Jim is still similar. The original rule is still applied. Jim here is a different fi'il. إذا كان الفعل مبدوءا بهمزة وصل. If the fi'il is started with hamza, this hamza, and the hamza is called hamza wasl. Hamza wasl is the one without the hamza symbol. Is the alif without the hamza symbol. This is not hamza wasl. This is the hamza wasl. This is just the term hamza wasl. So when you have this hamza in the beginning of the word, istalama, istakhdama, istakbala. So what do you do? If you look at the rules, it is still similar to the first one. Wa dumma awwaluhu. Still we need to use a dhamma. Wa kusira ma qabla akhir. Still we need to put a kasra in the end. So here we say istalama, it will become us and then li. The problem is here in the middle letter, the third letter. So what do you need to do? This is similar to what we have done here. You just change this to dhamma. Just change the third. Here they said the third letter. So the third letter is changed to dhamma. So from istalama it becomes ustulima. Ustulima. Istalama, ustulima. The same goes to istakhdama. Istakhdama, change to mabni lil majhul, dhamma. And then the last letter, the letter before last, kasra. So how do you read ustakhdima? No, change this one as well. So it becomes ustukhdima. And the last one, istakbala, dhamma, kasra. Ustakbila, no, change this as well. Ustukbila, ustukbila. So this is how you change if the fi'il is of this wazn, uftu'ila or ifta'ala. But the general rule still apply. Okay, istalama bimakna receive, receive. This is similar. These two are similar. Tasallama receive, istalama also receive. Ustulima was receive, was receive. Istakhdama use, use. Ustukhdima was used, was used. Okay, ustukhdima, it was used. Istakbala, to receive. But these two are two different receive. Istalama here is to receive an item. You say istalama. Tasallama, to receive an item. Ustukbila, istakbala, to receive gas, for example. To receive gas, to receive the Ramadan, month of Ramadan. You welcome the month of Ramadan. And that is istakbala. Istakbala. Ustuqbila was received. The month of Ramadan was received happily. For example, we say ustuqbila. Okay, so this is the rules if the fi'il is having this alif sin ta. But basically, you still do this. Dhamma awaluhu wa kasra ma qabla akhirih. And finally, dal. This is just in terms of okay. So what is this dal? Okay. Okay, this is about the other fi'il that are not mentioned here. Lahiz ba'd al-af'al al-ukhra. So take note, lahiz, take note of other fi'il, some of other fi'il. Ba'da is some, af'al al-ukhra, other fi'il. Take note of this other fi'il. Inda bina'iha, when you form them to mabni lil majhul, when you change it to mabni lil majhul. Basically, it is still the same. Sa'ala, su'ila. I have mentioned it. This is just a matter of writing. They change the way of spelling it. Sa'ala, su'ila. Qara'a, it will become quri'a. But of course, when you write the word quri'a, the alif is changed to this alif. The hamza. The hamza is now with this here. Okay, not the alif anymore. So we say quri'a. Was read. Read, read, or to read, Quri'a, it was read. Quri al-Quran, the Quran was read. No one is mentioned, the fa'il is not mentioned. Shahada, watch, to watch. Shahada. So now you have this alif in the middle. So it becomes shu, hi, da. Still similar, dhamma and kasra. But the problem is that you have this alif. Of course, you cannot write shuhida. So therefore, they change this alif to a suitable word, which a suitable letter, which is waw. So therefore it becomes shuhida. Okay, but the rule is still dhamma and kasra. And finally, qaddama. This is easy. Qaddama. So now you just change quddima. Quddima. Okay. So qaddama, quddima. Qaddama is to present, to give, or to present as a gift. Or quddima was presented. Quddima was presented. So these are some some examples of fi'il mabni lil ma'lum and also mabni lil majhul. Okay. So far, any questions so far? So in the next exercise, inshallah, in the next class, we will try to do this. So you can also look at try to look at all the exercises. So for example, here they say find mabni lil majhul. So they want you to find a suitable fi'il mabni lil majhul. So you can look at these exercises, find the fi'il, and then change it to mabni lil majhul. Okay, try it first. Number 2. This is easy. This is just to change the fi'il. Maybe you can try this first. You change the fi'il mabni lil majhul to mabni. So this is the opposite. You have mabni lil ma'lum and then change to mabni li. You have mabni lil majhul, change to mabni lil ma'lum. So when you do this, of course, since here they don't mention any fa'il, here you need to mention a fa'il. And jim, this is just to change. Awil al-af'al mabni lil ma'lum to mabni lil majhul. Change from ma'lum to majhul. And then try to write a sentence using the mabni li al-majhul. Okay, so you can go through, try this, and inshallah we will discuss this in the next class.